What's your name again?
Up here.
Sorry, what's your name?
No, it's not on there.
Oh, what is it?
I'm Tammy.
This is Tammy.
You're not here to see me. You kind of showed up, and I'm like, hey, I'll like at least walk you up the stage, but there she was.
That's all right.
Where would you like to sit?
I'm gonna sit here, but first I really want to take a selfie with all you guys. Is that okay?
Oh, there you go.
Okay. My friend JDF always does this, so I'm gonna take one and then I'll send it to Jason.
You want me to hold the mic for you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Hang on. Well, no, I kind of need it. All right. I don't know. This might be weird, but if you guys can squish. No, but there's a big gap right there. You know what? I'll do one here and then I'll go over there. That's easier. Oh, that's good. Hey. Well, like say something.
Do something. You guys are doing a selfie. What do you do with a selfie? Yay, something. No.
All right. Now over here.
There. These guys selfie all the time.
That was terrible. Me, you guys look great. Hang on a second. I'm really bad at this.
There, see?
Okay. Thanks, guys. All right.
That's amazing. All right, well, clearly you guys know why you're here. So, I feel awkward because I always sit right at the end of this thing and it's like, what's this over here?
How are you guys? So, how many people are you guys? All of you from London, Ontario, or from in and around? This guy is right here. Anybody from like? So I did a movie. I wrote and directed my first film, my first feature. I know, I'm super excited about it. But it's called The Space Between. But we shot in Kitchener and Waterloo and in Guelph. So you guys are from right there, huh? So if you come tonight, I'm screening the movie at 7 o'clock. And I'm going to watch it with everybody, and then we're going to talk about it after. But if you're from the area, you might recognize like Herbsville Go-Kart or the Guelph University, or anyway, it's kind of like a local movie in a way. So I live in Toronto now. I'm a new Canadian. Did you guys know that? I do. I love it because I did Flashpoint there, which brought me to Toronto. I had moved my entire life from Los Angeles, and I moved out to Montreal in 2005 just because I was sick of LA and I needed a change. So I moved to Montreal, and I really liked Montreal, but I never really felt like I was at home there. And so then when I got Flashpoint and I was brought to Toronto, I totally fell in love with Toronto, and I was like, this is my home, and I absolutely love it there. I've been there for 10 years now, and I love it. Okay, I'm sorry, we're doing a Q&A.
I know, I love it, because I'm from Toronto too, and I've been here for 10 years or something, but yeah, it's, Toronto's great, London's great, nothing wrong with London.
I've never been to London, this is my first time.
Welcome.
Can you guys, is it really hard to hear, or can you hear? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it sounds funnier up here.
It sounds funnier up here. Maybe it's this one. Anyway. So here we are.
So you brought up your movie. Can we talk a little bit about that? Just
Sure.
in case people aren't here later tonight?
Sure, yeah. So it's called The Space Between. It stars Michael Cram, who was on Flashpoint with me, is the star of the film. It's about I don't know why I keep feeling like I need to stand up, because I kind of get like lost in the couch, but it's about a guy who discovers that his child is not his own. And he and his wife had taken his infertility into her own hands, and she sleeps with the busboy at work, who happens to be a redheaded university student. So the movie starts off with him discovering this, and he goes on this road trip journey to find the biological baby daddy. And it's a heartfelt comedy. And Michael Ironside's in it. Do you guys remember Michael Ironside? He plays plays my father in the movie. I'm in the movie too, and he's so good in it. He's really great. And then, do you guys remember who Jane Eastwood is? Yeah, she's like a Canadian icon. She's a comedian.
She's amazing.
Amazing,
Yeah.
and she's so funny. So she's in the movie with Christian Brune, who's on Orphan Black. Funny dude. Anyway, I'm quite proud of the film. And so if you can't come tonight and watch the movie with me at 7 p.m., it's actually now on iTunes and on Google Play and a couple other platforms. It's available online. But if you go to the space between featurefilm.com, then it'll tell you where you can watch it. And I would love for you guys to see it because I am so focused now on shifting my career from acting to filmmaking. I absolutely love directing and writing, and this is all I want to do with my life now, as in my career, is write and direct and make films. So it would be really nice if you could check it out and come on the ride with me, because right now I'm working on my next film. It's called Breaking Emma, and I'm going to shoot that next year. And it's loosely based off of my own experience of leaving Los Angeles and moving my life to Canada. So that'll be fun. That'll be a heartfelt comedy as well. Anyway, should we talk about Power Rangers or something?
I didn't want to start with that because I'm fascinated with everything else that you do, but I know there's a lot of Power Rangers. Can I ask you, how did you audition for that? How did that all come about?
For the Power
Rangers, yeah.
So that was my first job that I ever had. I just moved out to Los Angeles, and I was taking some acting classes from a woman named Katie Wallens, who owns a casting company. And so she was casting Dino Rangers at the time, and I auditioned for Kimberly, and I got the role. And so that was really my first audition and my first job, which has been such a blessing for the last 25 years, which I had no idea at that time. I mean, really, when I got the part, I was not that impressed with the fact that I was going to be in spandex on national television.
But you look so awesome. What do you mean?
Oh, thanks. I was going to say I would not put on that suit again now, but I did like 3 years ago at the corner of Yonge and Dundas to raise money for the space between. But I won't go back to that topic again because it might bore you, but it doesn't bore me at all.
It's awesome. It's an awesome story.
But I put on this suit and I busked at the corner of Yonge and Dundas to raise money to make my first feature film.
That's passion.
One of my best friends was like, "You are a brave woman." Because no woman in their 40s should wear spandex on the corner of Yonge and Dundas.
I'm sorry, but she has not changed. Because I can see that you would fit in. I saw that clip, and there was nothing wrong with what she was wearing.
Oh, thanks. That's real sweet. Anyway.
But it was awesome. It was an awesome story. But yeah, I mean, how many years later, and all fans of all ages.
Truly, I can really usually tell somebody's age when they come up and they're like, "Oh, I loved you in Power Rangers," and I'm like, "Well, you're between, I think the age is now, because we do get older, 27 to 33. Is that the age? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
27 is actually almost too young now, too, which is crazy. Anyway.
Okay, but you, let's just switch a little bit. You're also a singer.
Yeah, I've always liked to write music and sing, but I've always kept it sort of as a hobby on the side, and sort of a cathartic place where if I'm sad or depressed or need to work something out, I'll go and write a song. So I have 3 albums that I've done. The Trans-American Treatment was my first sort of rock album, and then I did Imperfect, which was a more acoustic live album, and then 2 years ago I did Never Broken, which is my favorite out of all of them. And now I really haven't written a song since Never Broken, which is maybe 3 years now, because I can only do so many creative things at one time, and right now I'm so focused on writing screenplays. And then also I've only ever been able to write music when I'm really sad, and I'm just not sad anymore.
That's a good thing and a bad thing, because we don't get more music.
I have to try and write a happy song, but I don't even listen to happy music.
I understand.
I love sad music.
Yeah.
I just love it.
So, okay.
I write to sad music. And my friends are always like, oh, your music's so depressing. I'm like, I love it.
You love rainy days.
Love rainy days. I just love a good sad song. Nothing
Well, there's a need for that, though. We like, when we're sad, to listen to something that we're passionate and we are affected by.
It moves me.
It moves you, right? So, how did you make the switch then into being behind the scenes as opposed to in front of the cameras?
Well, when I was doing Flashpoint, which we did 5 seasons, during that time I had a child. I had a little girl who's 8 years old now. And then also I think it was just being out of the environment of Hollywood for me, or Los Angeles. And there was something about the camaraderie on the set of Flashpoint that really grounded me and really gave me a confidence that I had never had before. And during that time, I really realized how much I wanted to write and direct. And so as soon as the show ended, I put a team together and we did my first short film. So I've done 3 short films, and now I have a feature under my belt, and now I'm working on my second feature. But
that's amazing.
Yeah, I love it.
That's not an easy thing to get into.
I don't know, easy or not easy. It's all I wanted to do. It's like people are like, oh, how do you make a movie? You just do it, really.
That's fair.
Especially in this day and age, I think, in the digital age, I think if you have something to say and you have a story to tell, that we all, like, you can make a movie.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And so, what is something that you like to do in your spare time that has nothing to do with singing, acting? Just something.
Hang out with my daughter.
Yeah.
I love it. She's 8. Her name's Francesca, and she's really the coolest person I've ever met. Sometimes I wish I could be as cool as her. She's so smart too. Anyway, she outwits me all the time. But yeah, when I have any free time, spare time, it's like I just want to be near that person and with her. Yeah.
You're mentioning,
she's my hobby now.
She's your hobby. When you mention comedies, have you ever done anything like improv or sketch comedy or anything like that on stage?
No, you know what? Like, I didn't have a lot of training either. I mean, I always had this one acting coach. His name is Walter Rainey. He's a nut. He's a crazy guy who still exists and I still talk to quite often. But he was my training for acting. And I just sort of went to Los Angeles and slipped right into working in Power Rangers, and then really worked consistently for 20 years, which is a huge blessing. Like, it's amazing. So I went from Power Rangers to a bunch of movies of the week, to Felicity, and then I did a series called The Division, which was with Taraji P. Henson, and also John Hamm was in that, and Bonnie Bedelia. I was on Lifetime. I'm sure nobody's seen it, but it was like a great experience. And a bunch of other series, and then I was burnt out and left and came to Canada, and then I got Flashpoint and sort of found my passion again up here.
So I'm going to assume there are some questions. Is there any, and then this is the part where everybody goes, I have a question, but I'm too scared to ask. But there's a microphone.
You have a question that you're too scared to ask?
No, I'm not. But whenever no, not me. I can talk. But whenever I say, come and ask a question, they're afraid, and I want to encourage it because look how friendly she is. She wants to talk to you.
Oh, sure. Oh, so there's a microphone right there. So if you want to come ask a question, maybe the first 10 people, and then that's enough. I think that might be too much. Okay, yeah.
I'm hoping that, you can hear me? Yeah. Okay, great. I'm wondering, as you made the transition from acting to directing, what was surprisingly easy and vice versa difficult about making that transition?
So making the transition from acting to writing and directing, she asked what was easy and what was difficult. I guess the easiest part for me has been that as soon as I started directing, I realized that this is what I was like born to do. This is every part of my personality was suddenly being utilized to its like full extent on a set and running around, and I get to be a little bit bossy and like, you know, I just get to like fully be me. So that was the easy part, is I think it's a natural fit for me to be a filmmaker. And then the difficult part, well, I mean, I think filmmaking, writing, and directing, it's all about troubleshooting and making a movie. It's just about problem solving. So I guess every day is just facing obstacles and figuring out how to fix them. Really is what it's all about when you're on the set. So I guess that would be the most difficult, is figuring it out.
That's fancy.
Oh, it's,
Hi, Amy.
oh, there you are.
Hi.
Hi.
How do you feel with next year, the 25th anniversary of Power Rangers is going to be a big success and everything?
Do you guys feel like every year there's an anniversary for this damn show? Which is fantastic. But, because somebody mentioned that at the table, they're like, next year it's the 25th anniversary. I'm like, my God, it was just the 20th. And then it was the 23rd. And now it's the 25th, but the 25th is a big one.
This
right?
year, 24th.
Oh, this is the 24th, I know, but nobody really mentioned that. They skipped the 24th anniversary because the movie came out. So it was a big year for Power Rangers, I think, because of the film that came out. And then next year we got the 25th anniversary. Like let's keep it going. It's kind of fun. Did you guys watch the movie? Did you like the new movie?
Thank you.
I did. I really enjoyed it. I thought Dean Israelite's the director. I thought he did a fantastic job with it. I personally loved it. Hi.
Hello. So I was just wondering, so since you had someone from Flashpoint in your like recent movie, when you start making more movies, are you going to add in like say Power Ranger people, like if they were free?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Did you hear his question? Yeah. Yeah, so even in The Space Between, has anybody here seen The Space Between yet, my movie? Well, come tonight.
They're waiting for tonight is what it is.
Is anybody coming tonight?
Yes, you're all coming.
If you're not, come. Anyway, there's a little homage to Power Rangers at the opening of the film. And I'll probably do a little something in all the films that I do, but working with, oh my God, David Yost, who's the Blue Ranger, right? He's one of my best friends, so at some point for sure, if there's a part that's perfect and right for him, I would love to cast him. And Jason David Frank, who's fantastic, he's shooting something right now too. Those are the two people I'm the closest with. I haven't really kept in close touch with the rest of the Rangers, but for sure, yeah, if a part made sense, I'd like to cast all my friends in the films that I make, yeah. Hello.
Hello. It's another Power Rangers question. Sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. I don't mind the Power Rangers questions, actually.
What's your fondest memory filming the series?
I think, like I was saying, just the friendships that I made and the camaraderie that we had on every production and every job I've ever had, right? You just create these friendships that last forever because you're sitting together for hours on a set getting really silly. Like you get really weird with somebody when you're like looking at them for 12 hours so I suppose the friendships that I've walked away with. And then also for me, I was so young at the time, we all were, and I didn't go to university or college, and so that to me was sort of like my university years, I think, and so we partied a lot on that set, so that was fun. Is that a bad answer?
No, hey, listen.
I have some stories about that, which is really fun.
Just one more.
Like sitting up in the drawer the Zord. What do you call it?
What?
The Zord. A Zord. And like the grips had given me a little doobie, and I like smoked a little pot.
No, none of that happened.
And I'm sitting up in that Zord in my ranger suit, looking out at all the electricians and stuff looking at me, and I'm like, what is my life? What am I doing right now?
One more.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you don't have to get up. You can sit.
No, I thought you were cutting me off
No,
from
no,
my
I'm not
story.
cutting you off. That's your story.
It's actually a Flashpoint question. You know how there's female vocals in Flashpoint's music? Did you do any of the female vocals for any of the Flashpoint songs?
I think I had 2 songs in this series on Flashpoint. I had a song I wrote called Goodbye at the end of an episode of Flashpoint, and then I believe, oh yeah, and then they used another song. I can't remember the name of it right now. But so I had 2 songs in the series that they used in the soundtrack. Dancing in Between was the other one. Yeah. Thanks.
Awesome. Oh, one more.
What was it like playing the Pink Ranger?
What was it like? Well, it was really, really fun. I had a blast playing the Pink Ranger. I did. And you know what was a blast? It was so fun. We did the movie in Australia. So that was super fun. And for some reason it took 8 months to film that damn thing. Like no movie takes 8 months. But we were in Australia for that long, which was so much fun. I think because they fired Dulcia halfway through, who happened to be like Mariska Hargitay, who ended up like being the highest paid TV actress ever. Like why they fired her, I don't know. But then they cast another wonderful person to play Dulcia in the film. But I think because of that, we had to reshoot like a ton of stuff. So we ended up being in Australia for a super long time, and that was really fun. It was the first time like being away for that long. That was fun. What else? I don't know. It was really great being the Pink Ranger, for sure. And then what I find is really awesome about it is that now in transitioning into filmmaking, I have all of this support and loyalty from people that I've never met, but have known me through this character that I played 24 years ago, almost 25, that I couldn't have created myself. You know what I mean? Like there's such a blessing to the longevity of the loyalty that comes along with being the Pink Ranger. Is that a good answer? That was a long
Well, you have
answer.
a huge fan base. I mean,
It's
people love
really
you.
incredible. Yeah, it's really nice.
beautiful.
It's really nice.
But you're all gonna come see the movie tonight. Yes.
Thanks. And the other thing that I find really cool, besides just the support and the loyalty, is that at the time I was 21, 22 years old shooting the show, and I had no idea the impact that it was having on little girls and little boys, and how it was inspiring people, and the stories that I hear of like just helping people get through horrible situations or bad times in their life, or a death of a parent, or coming out, or whatever. I had no idea. I was completely oblivious to the effect that this show that I was on was doing and helping people. That now, in hearing their stories and people have grown up, it's like this amazing free karma. Like it's like this really cool thing to be a part of, and that was no clear intention of mine, but it's just really cool to have been a part of that.
And so coming to these kind of conventions, you get to actually speak with people.
Yeah, and hear their stories, and yeah, I've met some pretty incredible people who have gone through some pretty incredible things, and it's humbling and really awesome to have been a part of what helps them get through the hard times. It's really cool. Oh, puts a little lump in my throat, actually.
Me too. No, it's it really is touching, and I love to see people interact because yeah, they grew up watching you, and here they are. It's a little surreal, right? They get to speak with you and see that you're a normal person, you know, that you can speak with.
Yeah, you know, I've done a few shows now over the last 2 years, but the first show I did about 2 years ago, halfway through, I had to take a break and I went in the back and I sobbed. I had this moment where I was like, holy crap, like, I just met some people who have been through some really heavy stuff, and it was very overwhelming. But now I've met so many people now that now I can hold it together.
Well, we have a room where you can go if you need to write a song or
a movie, right? Yeah, in the space between. One of the biggest themes of the movie is that pain creates passion. And I've had a lot of pain in my life, as we all have our own crap to deal with. And that's like the biggest theme in it, and that's the biggest thing that I've learned from meeting so many wonderful, inspiring people is the passion that comes from the pain of what we have to go through, which is pretty awesome.
Now, your fans, where can they find more information about what you're doing, what's coming up? Where can they find that information?
So I have a website I haven't updated in a year.
I noticed.
Yeah, sorry, I need to get to that. Right now, really, I mean, I do have I'm on Twitter and Facebook. Facebook and Instagram, it's under A to the double J. I don't know why. And then Twitter is _ Amy Jo Johnson. And then I have a website, amyjojohnson.com, which will be updated at some point. And then the film, The Space Between, is thespacebetweenfeaturefilm.com. And all the screenings and where it's available now is on there. And yeah, and now I'm just really dedicated and focused on getting my second feature off the ground and shot and out there, which is called Breaking Emma.
Beautiful. So I want to let you go back to your table so that you can sign and
I think I have a photo op first, and then
think so,
and then I'll head back to the table.
Anything else? I don't want to cut you off. Is there anything else?
No, thanks you guys for, I hope I see you at the table, say hi, and if not, at the movie tonight, and I'm gonna hang out after the movie for a little bit and we can chat about it, and thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.